Paul Seegert. He's a health benefits expert and a managing partner at PCS Advisers. He talks to businesses all day long. Paul, this is a tough position for a lot of people, but I was looking at your website earlier today, and you said, there's a better way when it comes to employee health care, which you note aptly that it's the second biggest corporate expense. So you get a long hauler, you get a severe case. That can be devastating financially. Are vaccine mandates the way to go?
Well, it's created a real challenge. It's an added cost. If you're a large employer like United and you can make that mandate and you can afford to lose not just the 593 that they are letting go today, but the other 2,000 that had exemptions that they're putting on unpaid leave, they have a lot more latitude and deeper pockets to deal with this than a smaller Main Street employer or even an employer that has a few hundred employees. When you look at this testing, the mandate that includes getting vaccinated or getting tested, who's going to pay for that? So there are real concerns from employers on cost, management, and then will they be able to staff their facilities? Not all workforces are going to be as open to this. 28% of the workers that are polled say they are willing to lose their job over a vaccine mandate. So then you have to ask.
Do you buy that? I think it's a lot easier to check that box on a form than it is to go home and say, honey, I'm out of a job.
That's true. It depends on the industry and it depends on how mobile the workers are. Healthcare is being affected pretty significantly because if you're in a high demand field, you can go to a different employer, maybe one that doesn't have a mandate or is smaller or that kind of thing. So it'll affect some more than others, I would say, and we're seeing it in that industry affect healthcare more in the rural setting more than in the urban.
And we have covered it here that if you are fired for this, you're going to be fired for cause, meaning you don't get things like unemployment. I know your business also, you focus on things like efficiencies, you look at ROI, return on investment, but healthcare, it's that, but it's also personal. I think as Americans, we all want the best, expect the best. We also expect a choice. Do mandates conflict with that in the workplace?
Well, it depends how they're implemented. Some are allowing more, I wouldn't call them loopholes per se, but giving people more a feeling that they have more of an option. In some employer settings, they are interpreting the ruling that came down nationally to mean that if you're a remote worker and you're not going to come back to the office and you're happy working remote, then you don't have to get vaccinated. Others are taking the religious exemptions and not putting you on unpaid leave. They're accepting those. We even saw some employers before the national mandate was announced, Kettering Health in Ohio is a good example, where they were saying if you have natural immunity and you're willing to show it through an antibody test every 3 months, we'll accept that.
Oh, that's interesting.
But if it, so there are ways that it can be done that I think are more easily accepted by employees.
That's interesting because that might wane, but let's see. Okay, final question here. Give me a 360 view. Let's say that we talk September, what is it, the 29th, 2022, a year from now. How many employers out there, percentage-wise, do you think will have mandates?
Oh, the vast majority. When polled 30 days ago, it was well north of 80%, 85, I believe, that were telling us they will have a mandate by the end of the year, and that was before the presidential announcement. So I think it's given the many who were hesitant the cover they needed to go ahead and take this step.
Paul Seegert, thank you for your time tonight being with us here on Newsy.